Hey guys, welcome to Reds Projects. This episode I just want to have a quick talk about Sunday when I took the Navara to the drags, and I've got some extra footage I'm going to show you at the end of this video. So if you don't want to listen to me talk, skip to this time up here, and I've got a couple cool clips there that of other people's cars that are quite interesting. Alright, just want to explain a little bit. I didn't talk too much on the day. I tried to keep it short and simple. And just a few things I wanted to run by. So one of the main reasons I wanted to go to the drags was to fine tune the tune on the ute, mainly the timing. So air fuel I got a pretty good handle on. Timing I'm very conservative. My plan was number one cylinder, which is the cylinder from the last motor that broke. Put a fresh spark plug in number one, race it down the quarter mile, come back around, let it cool down, pull the plug out, have a look at it, and look at the timing mark on the plug. It's a burn mark. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I drew you a little picture. So pretty much, it'll leave a burn mark on it. It has to be a fresh plug. Has to have like very minimal miles on it. Just one pass, come back, have a look. Now, if it's up here, you're very safe. On the corner is pretty much ideal. If the burn mark is all the way around here near where the threads start, then it's too hot. You're going to start breaking things. You'll probably start melting the strap off, especially if it's a nitrous engine or just a high power engine in general. So that's what you're looking for. That's what I was looking for. So first pass, fresh plug in number one. Time was a 14.85 at 102, which really blew my mind because I was hoping to run a 14 at 100 something miles per hour. That was my goal, and I did it first pass. And as you see from the video, I was quite excited with it. 60 foot was terrible. It was 2.63 60 foot, which is almost a second slower than my Falcon. So that's all me trying to launch it and failing. So I got to do more practice with that. But first spark plug. Now I don't know how well you'll see it, but I might just take a snapshot of it, but it doesn't really look like it has a burn mark on it. It could have a burn mark right near where the thread is, which is the kind of the too hot kind of zone. I was not sure when I looked at this, and it was also with the water methanol, it changes the color of it a little bit, so I wasn't too sure with that. So I turned the boost down slightly. I went half a turn on the boost controller, which made stuff all difference, but I thought rather than try and add stuff to it, I'd remove a little bit and see if it moved or did anything different. So half a turn less on the boost controller, which dropped it a PSI or two, not much. And we move on to the second pass. Second pass was a 14.61 at 102 miles per hour again. Excuse me. 60 foot was slightly better. 2.47, which is still terrible, but better. Spark plug that came out of at that time looks much the same. Once again, I was kind of a bit confused whether it was the mark right at the end of the bend, right where the threads start, or it was non-existent. So I just kind of left it the way it was. It wasn't pinging. That tune's how I've been driving the car forever, thrashing and doing burnouts and stuff, so it hasn't blown up yet. So I thought it was just safe just to leave it the way it was, and I would just improve on the times. Left it exactly the way it was. Move on to the third pass, which was the quickest. That was a 14.50 at 102 miles per hour again. 60 foot was 2.52, which is still terrible. It was slower than the last one. Third plug looks much the same. Like I said, not sure if the burn mark is all the way around the corner or non-existent. So same thing, still confused. I thought I'll just leave it, and I will show the plugs to my boss or someone else that has more experience, and yeah, get someone else's opinion before I blow it up. Onto the fourth pass. This one I did with Ryan in the passenger seat. Tune up exactly the same as the last pass. This is the pass I missed third gear. I called it. I said, when Ryan's in the car, I'll probably be showing off more and trying to shift faster, and I missed third and buggered the whole thing up. One thing was interesting, I did the best 60 foot. I did a 2.38 60 foot, so slightly quicker, and then missed third, and then it ran a 15.98 at 91 miles per hour. So that was kind of annoying. Literally, I left the car running, ran up the tower, grabbed my time slip, came back down, just said to the guys, make one more pass because there was no one else there. And they said, yep, one more pass. So jump back in the car, straight back to the burnout box. Another burnout, another pass. That brings us on to the fifth pass. Excuse me. Not a bad 60 foot, 2.47, which I think is the same as the second, exactly the same as the second pass. Went 15.06 at 97 miles an hour, 97 miles an hour. And another thing I should mention, after the fourth pass, I did not put another plug in it. I kept, because I was still running, I just went straight back to the burnout box, so same plug. So yeah, 15.06, 97 miles per hour, with Ryan in the car, with the car hot, everything like that. After I made that pass, the plug I pulled out looks like that. And you can see right at the tip there is a proper burn mark on it, right at the tip. So after two passes, with extra weight, extra load, which won't make much difference, more so the extra temperature from hot lapping it, inlet temps will be hot, it finally burnt a mark on the plug. So after my last pass, I pull the plug out and I go, oh crap, this whole time I've been too conservative, it has not been burning a mark on the plug. Crap. So I know for next time that I can turn it up more. So the plan is to take the car back to the track sometime soon. As well, I'll quickly mention, went to under boost from 3,000 to rev limiter. The timing I've got is just 10 degrees, just flat. Peak timing, 10 degrees. So when I go back, first pass I'm going to do is going to be 12. And I'll see if that leaves a mark. If it doesn't, or it leaves a little mark, it's going to go straight up to 14, and so on and so forth until I get that mark further up. And I'll be looking at the mile per hour. So mile per hour should be going up bit by bit, knowing that it's making more horsepower. So with in the next probably month, I'm going to be taking the car back to the track and trying again. I've got a better understanding now than I did then. So I will take it back and try again, and hopefully squeeze just a little bit more power out of it. And speaking of power, now that I have data, I know that the car ran 102 miles per hour 3 times in a row. So I have one data point. The other day at work, I weighed the car. So we got scales for scaling a car. I weighed the car, and with a full tank of fuel, which is how I race the car on its own weighed 1425 kilos, 3141 pounds. With me in it, so full race weight was 1500 kilos spot on, or 3300 pounds spot on. And then with Ryan in the car, he said he weighs about 110, somewhere around there. So with him in the car, it's 1612-ish and 3553 pounds. So with all that data, you can go into online or download an app or whatever to a calculator that will, if you have mile per hour and weight, you can work out how much horsepower your car makes. So 102 mile per hour, 3,300 pounds, which is the car with a full tank of fuel with me in it, racing, ended up being 270 horsepower. So doesn't seem like much, but it's a little over double what the factory rated power is. If I can run 106 mile per hour, that means I'm roughly making 300 horsepower, which is a nice round number. That's what I'd like to aim for, ideally. So that'll be the goal for next time, if I can bump the mile per hour up a little bit. Another thing that was interesting, with the 5th pass I ran with Ryan, I punched, now that I have the horsepower, the rough horsepower amount, I put that 270 horsepower at 35.53 pounds, which is the car, full tank of fuel, me and Ryan in the car, and it says I should run 98 miles per hour, and we were at 97. So take into consideration hot lapping it, hot engine, all that sort of stuff, that's pretty close. So the data is kind of checking out. So that's quite interesting. Yeah, went well. Ryan loved it. It's more motivation for him to get his car going and race it. So I'm actually going there on Saturday, help him with his VN again. Hopefully this time we can get it running and driving and stuff. And then he's basically just going to put some slicks on it and just race it as is. So hopefully get the VN running, and then next time Heath gets on, which I think is the 2nd of Feb, we will both be at the track racing. Alright, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking in there. Was a bit boring and I do tend to talk a lot. Just got a couple clips that I recorded while I was waiting for the car to cool down, and just general hanging out and enjoying the atmosphere at Heathcote. Hopefully next time at the track, Ryan's there as well with his car, and it'd be good if we could do a side-by-side pass. That would be amazing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Ryan, come over here.
Try it again. 2nd gear. Yeah, boy. Navara. Oh, it's my dad's car. Oh, there's one tire. Oh, there we go. Oh, the poor bumper.